Well, guys, I think Tulsi Gabbard has just delivered the worst possible news for Kamala Harris's camp right now. And Tim Waltz, I'm sorry, buddy, but got some bad news for you, man.
Today, I'm honored to officially welcome another true American patriot, a 17-year veteran of the Hawaii Army National Guard, a four-term Democrat congresswoman, very, very popular, the former vice chair of the National Democratic Party and a 2020 Democrat candidate for the United States presidency. You know, she was a very good candidate. Every time she ran, she was good. She did well. She decided to leave. She couldn't take it anymore, but she is very special. And I didn't know this, but she was a lieutenant colonel. That's not bad.
I mean, you really can't ignore this, guys. I mean, this is breaking news, and I'm not at all surprised that Tulsi Gabbard has decided to endorse President Donald Trump. And what better place for Tulsi Gabbard to endorse Donald Trump than at the National Guard event in Michigan, right? I mean, this is huge, guys. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. But thank you so much for sharing this video, because we have a lot of work to do, guys. And I just want to thank y'all so much for helping me to get the word out. Wow, former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard endorses Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential race. Election 2024 live updates. Harris-Trump spar over debate rules. Tulsi Gabbard boosts Donald Trump. Anybody surprised that Tulsi Gabbard decided to get behind Donald Trump? And this is right after RFK Jr. Ended up coming out and endorsing Donald Trump too. Trump's getting some pretty big endorsements. I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks about this. I mean, she can't be happy about this. And then, of course, Tim Waltz. I wonder if he's having a fit of his own, running around out in the street in his underwear, maybe chasing some horses and gulping something. Yeah, big news, guys. Tulsi Gabbard, who ran for 2020 Democratic nomination, endorses Trump against her foe Harris. Appearing Monday with Donald Trump in Detroit, Gabbard, a National Guard veteran who served 2 tours of duty in the Middle East, said that the GOP nominee understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives, end quote. You know, what I am thinking, though, is I can only imagine The View, you know, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, you know, just pretty much losing their ever-loving minds, knowing that a Democrat has left their team.
Well, I had a different question. But it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
no, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So, okay.
Because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the super far left, but don't tell me the left
or maybe the super far right.
Well, he's talking about the left. Well,
okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat.
The Democrat has essentially climbed over the wall to the other side and has supported a Republican by the name of Donald Trump. So I'm pretty sure the members of The View, the hosts of The View, are looking at Tulsi Gabbard as a traitor. Well, Tulsi, we're glad to have you over here.
Colonel, not bad. I didn't know that. You know, I just found out. I said, put it down. You got to put that down. That's bigger. That's better than all the other stuff I read. But no, she's a special person. She's got great common sense, great spirit. She loves our country, and she loves the people in this room. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, please.
Come on in, Tulsi. Tulsi Gabbard. This woman doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. What do y'all think? Hit the like button for Tulsi Gabbard, guys. Hit the like button for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris ain't happy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Aloha. I know we got Hawaii in the house here. There we go. It is a privilege to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters in uniform, especially on this day of all days, I had the privilege of joining President Trump this morning at Arlington Cemetery, where he joined two Gold Star families and loved ones of Staff Sergeant Hoover and Sergeant G, both of whom were two of the 13 killed in the Abbey Gate attack 3 years ago today in Kabul. And I can tell you, as we were there, as he laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, joining these Marines' loved ones, I felt the sorrow that he shared with them in their loss. I felt and saw his sincere appreciation for these servicemen and women who paid the ultimate price, and their loved ones who continue to grieve to this day. This is personal for me, as I know it is for so many of you here. This is real. It's not just words. I first deployed to Iraq in 2005 with the Hawaii Army National Guard as a member of Charlie Med.
By the way, here you have an actual military veteran here by the name of Tulsi Gabbard. Unlike Tim Walz, who tried to portray himself as being a military veteran who fought in battle, who went to battle to fight for our country armed with a weapon. Tim Walz was basically called out by his own people. He was called out by the military. Tim Walz was called out by J.D. Vance. But here you have a woman, Tulsi Gabbard, here on stage, who actually was deployed and fought for her country.
As those of you who were deployed during that time know, it was the height of the war, and sadly, we took many casualties. And every day we were confronted with that high human cost of war, and that sadness as we boarded the plane when we left, that we were leaving some of our brothers and sisters behind, only to lose others when we got home to suicide.
Guys, there's no winner when it comes to wars. And this is why I'm a big fan of leadership that tries to avoid war at all costs. Rather than, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, who clearly are war happy. They're war hungry. How many more wars can we afford to be in? How many more billions of dollars do we want to send over to the Ukraine in their fight against Russia? How many more proxy wars can we afford to be in? I mean, really, guys.
So I mean what I say when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. We saw this through his first term in the presidency, when he not only didn't start any new wars, he took action to de-escalate and prevent wars. He exercised the courage that we expect from our commander-in-chief in exhausting all measures of diplomacy, having the courage to meet with adversaries, dictators, allies, and partners alike in the pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last resort. The truth is, as we head towards our decision as a country in November, the same cannot be said about Kamala Harris. In fact,
I hope you guys are ready to hear what Tulsi Gabbard is about to say about Kamala Harris. Kamala, if you're listening, I can already tell you're not going to be happy about what Tulsi's got to say about your girl.
About Kamala Harris. In fact, the opposite is true, and we're living through this reality today as this administration has us facing multiple wars on multiple fronts and regions around the world, and closer to the brink of nuclear war than we ever have been before. This is one of the main reasons why I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House, where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief. because I am confident that his first task will be to do the work to walk us back from the brink of war.
I think it's going to be really interesting to hear what CNN has to say about this one. Because, again, we still haven't heard from Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris refuses to take any types of interviews or any difficult questions related to her policy. So I'm pretty sure CNN is grappling with the news that Tulsi Gabbard has now decided to endorse Donald Trump for president of the United States of America going into this 2024 presidential campaign. And I can only imagine how much the CNN polls are going to be shifting.
We cannot be prosperous unless we are at peace. And we can't live free as long as we have a government that is retaliating against its political opponents and undermining our civil liberties, weaponizing our very institutions against those they deem as a threat. Kamala Harris has done this over the last 3.5 years. She won't hesitate to continue that if she is elected as president.
Of course not.
President Trump has been their first and foremost target in this because they don't want us as voters to even have the option to vote for him.
They try to take Trump off the
I've been their
ballots.
most recent target, added to a secret domestic terror watch list after exposing the truth about what kind of dangers we would face if Kamala Harris is elected as president. We as Americans must stand together to reject this anti-freedom culture of political retaliation and abuse of power.
They're trying to kill the First Amendment, guys. They're trying to kill the Second Amendment. And how are you going to put Tulsi Gabbard on the list of terrorists? Like, seriously? Like, I think it's almost painfully obvious what their objective is at this point.
We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future. I am proud to stand here before you today, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. If you love our country, as I do, if you cherish peace and freedom as we do, I invite you to join me in doing all that we can to save our country and elect President Donald J. Trump and send him back to the White House to do the tough work of saving our country and serving the people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Wow. That is one heck of an endorsement. And it definitely seems like the number of endorsements, the rate of people in very powerful positions are coming out of the woodworks to stand side by side and behind Donald Trump at this point. I think it's going to be really interesting to hear what CNN has to say about this one. Because, again, we still haven't heard from Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris refuses to take any types of interviews or any difficult questions related to her policy. So I'm pretty sure CNN is grappling with the news that Tulsi Gabbard has now decided to endorse Donald Trump for president of the United States of America going into this 2024 presidential campaign. And I can only imagine how much the CNN polls are going to be shifting as a result of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and now Tulsi Gabbard getting behind Donald Trump and very publicly endorsing Donald Trump to be the president for the United States.
Well, I had a different question, but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah.
So Bill Mayer's saying that there's nothing wrong with being woke. That's the way I'm interpreting it. I mean, here he is, Bill Mayer on The View, saying that, basically correcting her, saying that, you know, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being woke. That almost sounds like a promotion. If there's nothing wrong with being woke, then maybe there's something good about being woke. Is that what you're saying, Bill? I'm curious.
The term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and so
migrate.
why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want,
Okay.
because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the super far left, but don't tell me the left
Or maybe the super far right.
Well, he's
Well,
talking about the left. Well, then
Okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat.
So the super far right is the bigger threat compared to the super far left. Let me know, guys. What do y'all think? What is the bigger threat, the super far right or the super far left? I still consider myself to be an independent, though I do definitely lean more toward conservative values. But I don't know, based on what I've been seeing over the last 4 years and longer, and really reevaluating things, I don't really like either party, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. But I do think that the greater detriment right now is definitely the super far left. I mean, this is huge, guys. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for sharing this video, because we have a lot of work to do, guys. And I just want to thank y'all so much for helping me to get the word out.